Hey everybody, Fred Minnick here, and I'm about to review a craft whiskey coming out of Alabama. Now, you've heard me say good things about Dettling in the past. They actually made my top 100 last year. Their whiskey is fantastic. Their warehouses get like really hot, like into the 140s in the summer. And I really think that has a big impact on their flavor profile. This is a distillery to watch, and if you live in the state of Alabama, you need to be supporting this small distillery. I'm a big believer of find a small distillery in your local area, support them, help them grow, because it is a difficult business to run a whiskey operation. Now, this you will not be able to buy in Alabama or anywhere else in the United States. You are looking at the very first export coming out of Dettling. Now, I got a little details right here, but take a look at that while I'm reading it to you. So you are looking at a white wheat. This is a white wheat. This was distilled in 2017. The wheat came in as an actual error. So this was an error sent to them. So they were trying to get some grains, they got white wheat instead of what they normally would. And they went ahead and threw it in the batch. So this is a wheated bourbon using a white wheat, which I'm not entirely too familiar with it. I'm used to, you see a little bit of white wheat out there, but most people are using red winter wheat, soft red winter wheat. And this is going to be exported throughout the European Union. Now, allow me to talk a little bit about the significance of that. You may recall we've been under a trade war when it comes to whiskey, and whiskey was highly tariffed, and that kept a lot of small brands from getting interest from throughout the world. Those tariffs are gone. Now you're starting to see opportunities like this. What does that mean for us domestically? Well, that could mean, that bottle that's going to Switzerland or European Union won't be available in Alabama. But is that good for the business? Do you see that as good for the business or bad for consumers? Actually, put your thoughts in the comment section, because I kind of go back and forth on this. Part of me is a little bummed that I can't go in the store and buy this, but I'm also very happy for Dettling from a business perspective that they have that opportunity. Most people want to put this in perspective for Buffalo Trace or another large distillery, but think about the growth opportunities Dettling can have overseas. All that being said, it is always about the whiskey. But put in the comment section how you feel about bourbon distillers exporting and growing their brand versus focusing on domestic markets, because I do know those are two different strategies. And I think they would like to see what you think as well. But I'm really curious to know what your thoughts are. Okay, so it smells fresh, really fresh, just kind of jumping out of the glass. Kind of smells like coffee. So it's got notes of coffee. The oak is really prominent in this as well. Coming in hot. This is 107 proof, and it's tasting hotter than that for me. But after that alcohol dissipates a little bit, kind of feel it coming off the tongue, there is a really nice chocolate note. There's kind of like an orange sorbet note. The citrus is alive and well here. That alcohol and that second taste is not as prominent. Citrus is kind of overtaking taking the palate. It's really mid-palate. There's like some vanilla wafer kind of mid-palate action. The citrus is hitting the sides of my tongue, kind of like in the bitterness regions. It's also like getting some spice. I can't quite figure out what the spice is, but this is not really like when we think of wheated bourbons or any type of wheat introduced into a bourbon mash bill, we often go toward the sweet side. We think of caramel and everything. That may be in here, but it's very, very slight in comparison to these other very unique notes. The vanilla wafer, to me, falls a little bit more in the bready, kind of savory sides versus the sweet, versus like a vanilla pudding or a vanilla icing. This is good, but I think I like the release that I had last from Dettling a little bit more than this one. But it's exciting, you know, and you can see the how they branded it right there, 70 versus like 700 or 750. That's the kind of nomenclature or numerical identification they use for bottle size there. So it's exciting for Dettling from a business perspective. This is, I think this will do very well overseas if the right people taste it. And a lot of people are tasting American whiskey for the first time over there. So this falls down a little bit of an Irish whiskey path where you got some of those citrusy notes. But this is interesting, and I'm excited to see Dettling move forward overseas. But as with all my reviews, just use me as a guide. Don't take my word as gospel by any means. You know, taste for yourself. It's important that you learn about these distilleries. Check out one of my books, Bourbon, The Rise, Fall, Rebirth of American Whiskey, or Bourbon Curious, or my friend Clay Risen, Chuck Cowdery, Mike Veach. A lot of great books out there on whiskey. And the more you learn, the more you want to taste, and the more you want to taste with others. And I hope to taste with you one day, whether at one of my blind bourbon events or just some random Tuesday in a bar. Be safe out there, everybody. And remember, take care of one another. You thought I was going to say vodka sucks. I didn't say vodka sucks this time.